Do y'all remember Brave Tangle Dragons? Is that a thing y'all remember? I remember. I was there in the trenches. It was it was fun. It was cool. Frozen was in there sometimes too, as well. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. The children yearn for crossovers. Hello, if you've been here before, welcome back. If not, hi, my name is David. I make videos talking about media that I want to talk about. This video is inspired by a different video made by Bookish and Bearded's collaboration with Zachary Shea. I'll link both their accounts in the description. Their video, Fantasy Battle Royale, Whose Team Will Win, where they chose 5 characters from different fantasy stories and made a little team out of them, and the comments would get to choose whose team would win in a battle royale. I think Zachary Shea's would win, but that's a different discussion. I was inspired to make my own fantasy book team up, and I chose 6 different D&D classes as well. They also chose 5 different types of classes. I chose 6. I chose 3 melee and 3 ranged, so that there's a little bit of, I don't know, coverage balance in this team. I used to play in D&D, not anymore, but I chose characters based off of those classes, and it's not like exact what like these characters are to those classes. Like, I'm not going to assign subclasses to these characters. No, that's not. It's just vibes and having fun to make a little team out of these fancy books, fancy characters. I focused on fancy books only because that was going to be fun, and then I was like, hey, let's make a sci-fi and a horror one. So that's going to be for later. But anyways, 6 classes, 3 melee, 3 ranged, and I'm going to share the team that I made. And I found I made a very interesting dynamic, and I hope y'all find this interesting too. And yeah, let's get into it. We'll start first with melee, and for a fighter character, I chose Gideon Nav from Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I think this is a inspired yet obvious choice. Gideon is a really great fighter. She is adept at many forms, and she's a very scrappy survivor, and she's gay AF. Like, come on. Like, I gotta include her. I love the Locked Tomb series. I need to reread it because I did not understand like 25% of the entire series. But Gideon is an amazing fighter, and she would be a great inclusion in this team. Does that look good? Yeah, it looks good. I am using this video to talk about some of my favorite fantasy stories, just to talk about them. And so for a rogue character, I chose Tasia Lestrider from the book The City of Dusk by Tara Sim. I love this book so much, and its sequel, Midnight Kingdom, is also amazing, and I'm waiting for the 3rd book. It's in this book, it is a kingdom that is split between the powers of 4 different families that have different powers. There's House Mardova with elemental powers. There's House Seer with sun powers. There's House Vakara with necromancy powers. And there's House Lestrider with darkness powers, shadows and stuff. And so Tasia Lestrider is one of the heirs of the family, and she has amazing shadow powers, and she's an assassin. She's killed people for political gain, but also for her family, to protect them. And she does not want to be the heir, but thankfully she's only the 2nd child. But in the book, something goes wrong, and I guess you'll have to read the book to see what happens. But yeah, Tasia is an amazing rogue in my opinion. I mean, come on, shadows. She hides in the shadows. She can create portals through the shadows too, as well. And she is very dexterous as well. She is very light on her feet. She runs pretty quickly. She's one of the most fit characters in this book series. And yeah, she has one of the biggest body counts. It's not a big body count in general, but she has one of the biggest body counts in this series. And so I think she'd be great for a rogue type character. She's very confident with herself and very confident with what she wants. And I really enjoy her as a character. And so I would love to see her in a team. Think of her next to Gideon. Oh, it's so good. For the next team member, I'll be doing a Paladin, and that's going to be Jude Weatherborn from There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole. This is the Age of Darkness series, one of my absolute favorite fantasy stories. And Jude is an actual Paladin. He's literally described by the other characters as having a divine light, like the prophet that he protects first is notified by his appearance because he just sees blinding white light when he appears at the docks of the city. He is absolutely devoted to protecting the prophet, and he is very repressed homosexually, and I really love him and his journey with Anton, the prophet in the story. I read this from the library, loved it, immediately bought a physical copy, the second book, and pre-ordered the third book. This was years ago, and absolutely adored the series. I adore all the characters in the 6 main characters in this series, and Jude, the Paladin, would be an amazing addition to this team, having such a strong center of self and strong fighting skills as well. He's kind of a stickler for the rules, and that's really fun, especially compared to Gideon and Tasia, who are not sticklers to rules, and so that'd be a really fun way to have an interplay between 3 of them as melee fighters. Now with the ranged characters, I'll be doing a wizard, and I am choosing Marcia Overstrand from Magic of the Septimus Heap series. Deep cut, I know. I've been rereading the series, and Marcia Overstrand is an amazing character. Septimus Heap by Angie Sage is an amazing fantasy story, young adult fantasy story, and Marcia is the mentor wizard of Septimus Heap, the main character, Septimus Heap being the 7th son of the 7th son. And I had originally had Septimus in this team, but I figured it would be a lot more interesting to have a variety of age and experience. And I think Marcia, being this slightly older person, she's not old. She's an older woman. She's an adult. That's what I mean. She's an adult, and having her maybe as a leader type character would be really fun as well to play off of. And yeah, she's really intelligent. She's pretty arrogant as well, but she backs it up with her experience. She's really good at magic, and I think it would be really cool to have her on this team. She's very capable as well, and so I think that adds another aspect to this team to have a very experienced magic user calling the shots, being a mentor figure to everyone, but also still having a little edge of recklessness within her, because Marcia isn't one to be left behind. She will get into the fray, and she will call people out. She will do what is needed to be done, while also setting the boundaries, setting the rules. And so I really enjoy Marcia in some of the books, some of them. But yeah, Septimus Heap, I've been rereading it, so I have her in my mind. But yeah, I think she's a great addition to this team. For my next team member, I am doing a Sorcerer, and I think this is a safe pick, but a fun one. I'm doing Nico D'Angelo from the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I for some reason only have the last 2 books of the Heroes of Olympus series. So we're getting the last book here for representation. But yeah, I think Nico D'Angelo, looking at the past characters that I've chosen in Gideon and Tasia, I think Nico, another necromancy, darkness type character, but younger, also gay AF, would be a fun addition. You know, sorcerers drawing power from their parental heritage, Nico, and most demigods as well, but Nico specifically having power from Hades, from his godly parentage, makes sense to me. And, you know, it adds to the vibe that I've been cultivating for this team. He's also depressed as hell. I have not been able to read the further series past Gods of Olympus. Like, I don't think I want to read Apollo Trials or Magnus Chase. I maybe might read I don't know what the series is called, but the one where Will and Nico, right? Is that that's the new series that's coming out, where they are being gay together. That sounds fun, but I have to reread the first series first and see if I want to read Apollo Trials or Magnus Chase aside from that. But yeah, I think, at least from what I remember, from what I've read, from the hype that the show has pulled up, Nico D'Angelo is a really fun character, really tragic character. I remember reading the series, I was very surprised that Nico hung on as long in the series, and he became much more of an important character as we kept going, and I was very surprised about that. And yeah, I think he'd be a great addition to this team. The final pick for this team is going to be a bard, and this is going to be, I would say, a somewhat controversial pick, and I'm going to stumble over my words here, so bear with me. But I'm picking Beru Cormorant from the Trader, Beru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. I'm gonna trip over my tongue all over. Beru Cormorant is, I will say, an eloquence bard, and I was very familiar with eloquence bards. Maybe also a mastermind rogue, but also I already have a rogue in Tasia, and also Beru Cormorant is such an interesting, fascinating character. I've only read this one book. I have to read the next two books. I gotta reread it first because I don't remember much of it. But I do remember Beru being very eloquent and very exacting and very smart. She's a strategist and a tactician and gay AF. And I think that having her in this team where we have Marcia being like the leader and Beru being sort of maybe, I don't know, maybe like second in command or something like that, but she's definitely part of the decision making, and also having that idea of like, can we fully trust her or not? Really fun interactions throughout. I would say archetypically is that the right word? Archetypically, she is not the traditional bard, but also you can with an eloquence bard. I played an eloquence bard, and that was really fun. And I'm not trying to say that I was Beru Cormorant, but having Beru Cormorant as that kind of character to be able to talk to people and to convince people, to manipulate people as a bard, very fun, amazing, a great time. I'm having a great time imagining her. I have not been able to read the next two books. I think I heard that there's a fourth book coming out at some point. So no spoilers, please. If her character changes, I just know it from this point on. I don't know anything any further. So yeah, this is my team. Like I said, I think I made a really interesting dynamic with 3 necromancy / shadow adjacent people in Nico, Tasia, and Gideon. And then, Marcia, Jude, and Beru being very the opposite of the shadow kids. And I feel like, like I said, Marcia being leader, Beru being the second command, Jude being like the voice of reason, Gideon being the voice of ambition, Tasia being the eyes of everybody and wanting to do more, and Nico learning from everyone and coming into his own would be a really, really fun team to see them interact. And I don't know, maybe we can imagine them being pulled from their stories to do a thing, or just starting off with the 6 of them all together. I don't know which is more fun, but I really do enjoy this team that I made. I think it's a really interesting balance of archetypes and character types and interactions. And yeah, I also use the incorrect quote generator to make some interactions between these characters. And I'm going to share some of the ones that I liked. Jude at a restaurant. You guys should eat the orange soda. It's amazing. Beru. Okay. Waiter. Can I get you guys anything to drink? Jude. Orange soda, please. Beru. I have the strawberry soda. Nico. Me too. Strawberry soda. Jude. Marcia. When I'm gone, Gideon, you're in charge. Gideon. Yes! Marcia whispering, Beru, you're secretly in charge. Beru, obviously. Nico. Tasia and I were crossing the street and this dude drove by and honked at us. Marcia sighing. What did Tasia do? Nico. They chased him to the next red light, then reached into his window and Tasia. Who wants a steering wheel? Nico. Fitness tip. Never stop pushing yourself. Some say 8 hours of sleep is enough. Why not keep going? Why not 9? Why not 10? Strive for greatness. Gideon. Next time you're working out, do 15 push-ups instead of 10. Run 3 miles instead of 2. Eat a whole cake instead of just a slice. Burn your ex's house down. You can do it. I believe in you. Tasia. There were so many mixed messages that I can't. Gideon. If I die, my funeral is going to be the biggest party ever and you're all invited. Marcia. If? Jude. Great. The only party I've ever been invited to, and they might not even die. And then there's some larger, all 6 of them too, that it was really fun as well. But yeah, so this is my team. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what fantasy team would you do? You don't have to do the same D&D classes either. You can find your own D&D classes, own party comp of whatever you want. And yeah, just tell me what fantasy stories you've enjoyed and what characters from those fantasy stories would interact in really cool ways. Frozen Tangled Dragons. What? Brave Tangled Frozen Dragons? Brave Tangled Dragons. That's it. And they are in Hogwarts. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Let me know what you think about my channel. Don't forget to be passionate, and I'll see you later.